Okay, the reason I don't pick right now, sir. Okay. Now I'm going to pause it. If you press here, pause. Right. When you finished, when you write right, when you finish,
Give the flowers back. Get some flowers back. Get some, give the flowers back. She said,
free. You can focus on the free.
please let me check. चाहे भी तीर के Gentlemen, can we get 6 or 8 guys to come forward, please? I prefer like youngsters to come. Double to the sides, we're going to place the box on. Turn it out and place the box with the pounds, right? Now we're going to pick up straight up to our shoulders. Right. And you put your shoulder to shoulder. Right. Let's go. Ram, Satya, 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 Ram, Satya. Start slowly.
Down halfway. Halfway. Let's say that
Keep walking as far as you can. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I need another light to just behind. Please just let me hold it. Right, when we get escape, we get the immediate family season. Come through. Come, sir. Sister, where are you? coming to view. We've got sandalwood, we've got petals. You can turn 3 times around the frame. Place in there, into the basket that we have. Walk around to meet the family. Please, as a special request, especially the son who's performing the last night, do not hold on to him, do not shake hands with him. Respectfully put your hands together and convey your sympathy to you. You can do the same for the rest of the family. Remember, COVID is something that we have to, we're going to abide by the protocol. So please avoid touching or hugging the family. When you're coming through, ensure your shoes are on at all times. Remember, Clear State Crematorium does conduct COVID funerals. For your own protection, keep your shoes on at all times. Remember, Hinduism is a way of life before it becomes religion. And the way of life is protect yourself first. So please keep your shoes on at all times. The box will remain closed for the entire duration of the prayer, as per request of Dad. Dad has requested that we keep the box closed. We have taken the box to him this morning. He did whatever he had to do on prayer-wise at the hospital, and he requested me to please keep the box closed. So it's not that Mommy's face is burnt or something very badly. It was just that Dad's request was that the box stays closed. Right? Can I request the senior family members to please come first forward? For anyone who's got a disability or an aid to walk, come through, please. Come through, Dad.
दयाल प्रभु पर Amen. Respected elders, friends, family, and dear children, Om Namo Narayana, and greetings to you all. On this most devastating occasion of the funeral service of Mrs. Preshila Devi Poonmassy, who to many was affectionately known as Big Mummy. You know, the Poonmassy family are overwhelmed, grateful, and comforted by your presence this morning. And first and foremost, sincerely thank you in that you have shown so much of support to the family over the past few days by your words, messages, as well as your presence. It is sincerely comforting to the family. You will hear numerous messages and sentiments this morning describing my beloved grandmother. However, in order to set the tone for this morning's service of my grandmother, I just want you to know, and you would know this better than me as well, is that she was a woman of prayer, faith, resilience, and serenity. And when I look at everyone here today and just the general theme, I say my grandmother would be smiling. She was a person who was most time conscious and punctual, and I'm smiling because everything has gone to time for today, and I know she would be happy about this. I'm thinking about her words in her mind because she didn't like long, drawn-out functions and occasions. The words that she would often say to my grandfather and alert him quite often too before they attended any function was, please don't waste time and speak to many people. I need to go home to do my prayers. And that was the type of woman she was. Didn't enjoy the limelight, so the fact that we've all come here today, I know we're doing this for you, Big Mummy, but it is not something that you ever wanted. You did not like the limelight to be on you. So please forgive us, Big Mummy, for what we're doing today. Friends and family, with that said, I once again request each and every one of you to have the theme of my grandmother's traits in your hearts and minds when remembering her today. And that is a person of prayer and ceaseless faith. And knowing her today, she would have not wanted anyone to feel devastated, and she would have probably given you a lecture as to why you shouldn't feel devastated. I know she certainly did that with her grandchildren. She would have probably said that I'm with Lord Shiva now, so why are you sad? I feel sad for all of you because you are not with Lord Shiva just yet. She knew that death is a part of the journey of life that everyone must take, and she no doubt would have advised us that this is a small part of the journey. So, friends and family, once again, on behalf of the Poonmassy family, we thank you for your presence in helping us share this burden of grief in this difficult time of saying goodbye to my grandmother. Further in today's program, we will properly describe the circumstances that led to her untimely passing, which in my mind are symbolic and somewhat poetic, given her life and the type of person that she was. But we do thank everyone for their sensitivity shown to the family over the past few days, and ask that you continue to show this sensitivity given the rare accidental nature of Big Mummy's passing. Friends and family, the Poonmassy family have always had strong associations and ties with the Ramakrishna Center of South Africa. At this juncture, I call upon a representative of the Ramakrishna Center, who is Mr. Sanjeev Baran, who will share a few words and thoughts as well as read a message prepared by the Ramakrishna Center of South Africa. Following the words of Mr. Sanjeev Baran, our satsang group will lead us in the singing and recital of the Sri Ganga Stotra.
The bereaved family, beloved elders, sisters and brothers, Om Namo Narayanaya. I greet you all in the name of our holy trio, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, Preshila Devi and Swami Vivekananda. This morning, I will read a message from revered Swami Swatmaramanandaji Maharaj. And it reads like this. Mr. J. Poonmassy and family, Om Namo Narayanaya. The officials and devotees of the Ramakrishna Center of South Africa join me in conveying our deepest sympathies to the Poonmassy family on the passing away of Mrs. Preshila Poonmassy. The late Mrs. Poonmassy was an initiated member of the Ramakrishna Center of South Africa, having been associated with the center for more than 5 decades. She had the privilege of serving the second president of the center, revered Swami Shivapadanandaji Maharaj, very closely. She took an active interest in all spiritual and religious matters, attended satsangs, discourses, and Vedanta retreats regularly. She was a dedicated, humble, yet ardent devotee of our Master Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother Preshila Devi, and Swami Vivekananda. She played an active role at the center and was involved with the radial satsang group of the center for many years. She has been a role model and an inspiration to many devotees, a confidant, friend, and a mother to many. Her dedication, compassion, and patience were the hallmarks of her personality, and her presence will be sincerely missed. The Ramakrishna Center of South Africa acknowledges her significant contribution and the contribution of the Poonmassy family to the Ramakrishna Center of South Africa in South Africa, and will cherish the legacy she leaves behind. Along with Mrs. Poonmassy, her family is also devoted to Sri Ramakrishna, Preshila Devi, and Swami Vivekananda. Her children have grown up as children of the Ramakrishna Center, and as such, emulate the culture and ethos of the center. They have benefited from the center's children's classes and from the participation in several annual children's cultural festivals. The children continue to actively serve the Ramakrishna Center of South Africa in various capacities. Mrs. Poonmassy was a qualified Pandita who had done yeoman service to our mother India by teaching the Hindi language to many South Africans. The loss of a wife and mother is a great one. It will take some time for the family to accept and to adjust to this loss. We pray that you and your family are comforted by the many wonderful memories and the legacy she has left behind. As promised by Holy Mother Preshila Devi, the initiated devotees of Sri Ramakrishna will be personally taken care of by Sri Ramakrishna himself after giving up the body, and be taken to the abode of Sri Ramakrishna. Yours in the service of Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Swatmaramananda, President, the Ramakrishna Center of South Africa. That's it. Devi Suresh
भुवनेश्वरी भगवती गंगे त्रिभुवन तारिणी तरंगे शंकर मौली विहारिणी विमले मम मति दासा तव पर कमले
Friends and family, I am not meant to say much about my grandmother as I am not the main speaker, but I would just want to give everyone seated here some anecdotes and some incidents of her life that make me be strong today, as well as members of my family. But everyone knows that my grandmother was thirsty for knowledge. She always wanted to learn and impart more once she did learn. So it was in her nature, despite having left school at a very young age, and this was at the, remember this, my dear friends and family, this was now in the 1950s and 60s. She left school early, which was the norm at the time. After she got married, had children and grandchildren, thereafter she decided to pursue a lot of her studies. She studied Hindi through the Arya Samaj, where she taught children at both St. Michael's School and the Riga Temple. And she qualified as a Vedic Pandita, which I am told is not the easiest feat in the world. Now, friends and family, one of my grandmother's inspirations and mentors when she was embarking on the journey to become a qualified Vedic Pandita was Dr. Ram Vilas. Dr. Ram Vilas not only motivated my grandmother, but he inspired her to study and become qualified as she became during the late 2000s. Dr. Ramvilas is present, and I call upon him to share some sentiments on my dear grandmother.
Members of the bereaved family. Bhaiji Jagdish is not with us, but to the family, I also want to remember for a moment Sanjeev, who is no longer with us. Then to Anesh, who is more well known as Anand, Avita, grandchildren, Pranav, Srish, Triven, Didi. From all of us here, our deepest condolences and sympathies. We have gathered to pay our last respects to a wonderful human being. Our recollections of Pandit Preshila is that of a smiling and ever-obliging individual with a truly warm personality. She was richly endowed with all the virtues of motherhood, and we are all part of that extended family. And we know the word kutumba, and she really was a mother in that kutumba of ours. A kutumba that enjoyed her love and friendship. Pandit Preshila was a cultural icon. She studied Hindi at the Hindi Siksha Sangh and completed her core, which is equivalent to a matriculation in Hindi. She then attended classes at the Arya Samaj at the School of Vedic Studies, did the priest course and graduated as a Pandit. She had a thirst for knowledge and continued to study and research the Vedas, something that she enjoyed and found most fulfilling. She taught Hindi well, and because of her passion for teaching, she produced excellent results. She also attended the satsangs of the Avoka Cultural Society and taught Hindi to our members. To Bhaiji Jagdish Poonmassy, who is not here, I just want to say we regret that Pandit Preshila Ji Benji had to pass away the way she did. And we all pray that your dedication and commitment to Sri Ramakrishna Ji, to Sharda Devi Ji and Vivekanand will hold you in good stead during this difficult period. You were, Jagdish Bhaiji was my teacher in standard 1 and 2, and you also taught my wife Sarita in primary school. You will always be the grand teacher, the sir that we all loved in our days as students. Our teachers were of a special kind, imbued with knowledge and compassion that leaves us with such fond memories. To the family, I want to say we share in your loss. Pandit Preshila's love extended to a larger family that we all belong to. I remember as children once when Jagdish Guruji, our sir, was not too well and was absent. A group of us actually visited his home, and he was so happy to have us. In those days, not all of us had record players, and there was a 45 RPM with the Shadows, which was very popular at the time. I clearly remember sitting there with a group of our friends with him, enjoying that music. So I want to say to all of you, the family, a very big thank you for having afforded us this opportunity of allowing Panditji, our beloved mother, to be part of this great extended family. May she go well, whatever be the life hereafter, I'm sure it holds the very best for her. Please thank you.
family, in honor of my dear grandmother, I see that we are running behind schedule and I can hear her voice chastising me. So we will be reading a few messages, 2 messages in fact, from Big Mommy's eldest grandson who is in London at the moment, Pranam, who has asked to read some sentiments on his behalf. He is joining us via video conference on YouTube, but I'm going to read this message from Pranam. Dear family and friends, today we are all here to remember and celebrate the life of our beloved Big Mommy. For most of us, she was present in our lives for as long as we can remember. She touched the lives of so many people, and her passing has left a significant void in our hearts. She was a hard-working and selfless person who always put others' needs before her own. I'm surprised that she is resting now, as I expected her to be in the kitchen making tea and samosas for everyone. Big Mommy was a force of nature wrapped in a mild-mannered lady. Her strong will and attitude in the face of adversity was an example to us all. If I told you that someone started and built successful businesses, taught languages professionally, and figured out how to keep fit and healthy, I'm sure you do not be thinking of someone with a limited education and who was a grandmother at the age of 40. But Big Mommy was never afraid to try. Whether she was trying to make a pizza with no recipe or learning how to speak a new language, she tried and she put all into everything that she did. And that's why she was able to succeed at so many things. She was the forerunner to the current generation of health-conscious people. She didn't have access to the internet or medical books, but she was able to see that eating food that was grown in a clean way, keeping herself active, and limiting processed foods would keep her strong and healthy. Woolworths charges extra for organic food, but everything Big Mommy gave us was organic. And she was obsessive about looking after us all. I don't know how many times she'd say, sit up straight, or don't drink Coke, but she was only trying to get us to be better. I once hurt my back, and Big Mommy tried or asked me to stretch it in a certain uncommon way. I thought to myself, this will never work. The next day, when I went to the physio, he told me to the exact funny stretch. Big Mommy somehow just knew. She also had a deep appreciation for nature and its beauty. She enjoyed tending to her garden and growing so much of the food that she fed us. She was also likely to force Big Daddy to stop on the side of the road so he could pick up a pretty flower that she liked. Her love for us was immeasurable. She took care of us when we were sick and listened to us when we needed someone to talk to. When I lived with her, she'd tell me a story almost every night about how things were when she grew up. Her gentle touch and kind words were enough to brighten all our days. I was truly blessed to have had my Big Mommy for so long, and from all the grandchildren, Pranam is perhaps the luckiest. Although she may be physically gone, her spirit lives on in each of us. I will always cherish the memories with her and hope we can continue to live with the same tenacity, kindness, and dignity that she demonstrated. Goodbye, Big Mommy. We love you and we will miss you always. So, Friends and family, that was a message from Big Mommy's eldest grandson. I have one more message to read, and that is from my mother Avita, as well as my Mosi Ishana, who is also in the UK, and this is the message they've asked me to read out. Big Mommy, as she is fondly known, was a strong pillar of strength for our family. Our memories include her teaching us stotras, artis, and having the best family birthdays, with her baking the tastiest birthday cakes. For Kaki, my mom Avita, and my Mosi Ishana, watching Big Mommy at a young age go from strength to strength as a female was most inspiring and motivating during that era. Her thirst for knowledge and growth started with her sewing business, which started in her garage. She skilled herself with flower arrangements, and then she studied and qualified to be a pandita, always teaching everyone around her. Big Mommy and Kaki were often confused as sisters, and she influenced Kaki to open her own business. Her passion and love for the Holy Trinity impacted all of us to follow her and dedicate our time to the ashram and many yoga camps. 206 Bailey Road is the main house for the entire Poonmassy family, and Big Mommy was the family's mother. She always showered us, all of the cousins, with love, care, and feeding us, and always advising us on natural remedies. Her strong impact to us as a female was remarkable. She motivated us to always strive for more and be the best and never give up. She left a massive mark in our lives and huge impact on our hearts. We will miss her dearly. Rest in peace, Mommy. May you reach the highest form of moksha. We all love you dearly. And with that, friends and families, I hand you back to our satsang group.
तुम विनती सुनो सबकी, कल्याण करो जग का, सदराह दिखा करके हार करो दुर्गा, उद्धार करो दुर्गा। तुम विनती सुनो सबकी, कल्याण करो दुर्गा, सदराह दिखा करके उद्धार करो दुर्गा, उद्धार करो दुर्गा। तुम विनती सुनो सबकी, दर्शन हो मांगे सबकी अभिलाषा है, मन में रहो तुम सबके, तुमसे आशा है। माया है, कभी धूप कभी छाया है, एक दिन से जाना है, जो भी यहाँ आया है। संसार तो माया है, कभी धूप कभी छाया है, एक दिन उसे जाना है, जो भी आया है। क्या रंग है जीवन का, क्या रूप है मानव का, तुम ज्ञान भरा करके उपकार करो दुर्गा, उपकार करो दुर्गा। तुम विनती सुनो सबकी, कल्याण करो जगा, सदा भक्ति भाव लगे, उद्धार करो दुर्गा, उद्धार करो दुर्गा। तुम विनती सुनो सबकी। श्री राम कृष्ण भगवान की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, श्री अम्बे अम्बे मां की जय।
Friends and family, at this juncture, we are going to play a recorded message that has come through from Preshila Devi, who is the head of the Preshila Devi Ashram in Peshawar, which will then be followed by one last bhajan, and thereafter I will provide some sentiments that has been given to me by my grandfather in hospital that he's asked me to share with each and every one of you before we conclude today's program. So we will now have the recording played by Preshila Devi.
Om Aim Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Shri Ram Krishnaya Namaha. Dear sisters and brothers, Om Namo Narayana. On behalf of the officials and members of the Sri Sharda Devi Ashram, I convey our deepest condolences to Mr. Poonmassy and family on the very sad passing away of Mrs. Poonmassy. Mrs. Poonmassy has been a member of the Ramakrishna Center of South Africa for many years. Living close to the ashram, Ma, together with Mr. Poonmassy and her family, lovingly served the ashram and attended satsangs regularly. Mrs. Poonmassy had also recently attended the Ram Navami celebrations every day, and I was very happy to see her at the ashram. We pray to Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Sharda Devi and Swami Vivekananda to shower their infinite grace on Mr. Poonmassy and family and give them the strength and courage to cope with this very sad loss. Prayer and the chanting of God's holy name deepen our faith, give us hope, and remove the cloud of darkness from our minds. God's sweet name fills our hearts with peace and gives us comfort, because we understand now that God alone is eternal. The world is here today, gone tomorrow. Sri Sharda Devi reminds us that these earthly ties are transitory. Our real tie is with God. Sri Krishna Bhagavan says in the Bhagavad Gita that it is only the body that dies. The soul is eternal and imperishable. Through the blessings and infinite compassion of our Master, Sri Ramakrishna, the Holy Mother Sri Sharda Devi, and Swami Vivekananda, may Mrs. Poonmassy's soul be at peace, and may she find eternal union with our Master and Holy Mother on this blessed day. May the Lord always be with her to guide and save her. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Friends and family, there's just been a small change in the program, and my cousin Aditi is going to be sharing a few thoughts with us. So I now call upon Aditi.
Om Namo Narayana, everybody. Thank you all for coming today. The last few days have been extremely difficult. No words, I can find no words to explain how we really feel as a family, as children, as grandchildren. Up until 1 minute back, I did not know I was actually going to be coming up here and sharing how I feel. And I think the other speakers that have shared their thoughts and their sentiments before me have done a fantastic job. It feels like there's nothing left to say really, but there are a few things on my mind that I would like to share with everybody today. From a personal perspective, I want to thank Big Mummy for everything that she has taught me, because I'm sure that everybody remembers the version of me that was 100 kilos at one point. And it was Big Mummy that used to say to me, wake up every morning, just do some yoga, just eat some garlic or eat some ginger. It will help your immune system, it will boost your metabolism. And you reach a point in life where your ears do pain and you start trying different things. It was actually a chance that I took. And Big Mummy was very instrumental in that. Honestly, I actually did it because I was just tired of hearing it. I think Pranav mentioned earlier something about don't have the cope or something like that. And I clearly remember there was a day where Shivan and I were in Big Mummy's kitchen, and I was being insistent on this bottle of Crest, because bottled cool drink is just better, or glass bottle. And Big Mummy just opened the bottle in front of me and put it down the drain, because she could take it no more. So Big Mummy, thank you for all that you've taught us, thank you for all that you've shared with us, and thank you for pushing us. Because it's actually because you never took no for an answer that forced us to learn all that you learned and all that you wanted us to learn. A lot of people will remember me and recognize me because I went most places with Big Mummy when I lived in Durban. Whenever she performed prayer, the Vedic chants. And I was very fortunate and very privileged to have caught on while she was learning. And at every function, every birthday party, every celebration, every funeral, everything, Bigami always ask me, she's like, Aditi, please do that blessing mantra, please do that blessing mantra with me. Just ask them for some water and then we can do the mantra together. And remembering you these last few days, I've been sleeping on your bed, Bigami. I've been having the hardest time because I remember those conversations you and I used to have when Big Daddy used to stay at the ashram on a Thursday night. And those are memories I will keep in my heart forever and ever. But speaking about Big Daddy, I am very sure that I am very certain everybody knows why he's not here and everybody knows how everything has happened. And in praying for Big Mommy, I ask with all the humility in my heart to please pray for Big Daddy as well, because these circumstances are unique. In 2019, we lost my Sanjeev Kaka, who also passed away in the hospital. And that too was tragic. But after we all gathered ourselves together, the day has to go on and formality has to begin. So we got home, we came home, and we continued with all that has to be done. But can you imagine what it is like to lose somebody in a hospital and then have to go 2 floors up to tell the other person that his spouse is no more? There is nothing anybody can do in that circumstance, in that situation. And even then, when we just thought it was hard enough to say this to Big Daddy, we all then leave the hospital to go home, and Big Daddy stays alone. I am so sorry, and please forgive me for speaking so much about my grandfather at my grandmother's funeral. But I ask all of you from the bottommost part of my heart to please keep him in prayer, because he needs that. That is what he needs right now. Big Mommy, to you, until we meet again, it's going to be the last time I say this prayer for you. It is a prayer that you taught me, and the very last time that I'm going to get to say it for you. Om Bhadram Karne Vishnu Deva Bhadram Pashyamam Shubhir Yajattavam Sthirairange Sushtabhagam Sastanobhir Vishemadeva Hitayuhu Swasti na Indro Bridashravah Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti na Stariksho Rarishthanemihi Swasti na Brihaspatir Dadatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ram Krishna Paramastu.
Thank you, Aditi, for those soul-stirring words. It is difficult to come up now, friends and family, because I received some directive from my grandfather in hospital And he categorically asked me to let each and every one of you know the circumstances that led to the passing of Big Mommy and exactly what had happened on Sunday morning. So he asked me to commence by saying that if you do know Big Mommy, you would know that for the last 3 to 4 years, she has struggled with mental illness in the form of Alzheimer's and dementia. And for those of you who know about these conditions, you would know that routine is extremely important. Big Mommy, for the last 20 years, every morning would wake up and perform a Vedic Havan. It was how she lived her life, and many times in the morning, she would not want to look at anyone until she did her prayer. The morning routine was the Havan, and in the afternoon, around 4 o'clock, she would sing the Hanuman Chalisa 11 times. Now, when Big Mommy went through this mental illness in her mind, as soon as she woke up, she still wanted to perform the Havans, and it was something that was programmed. A morning, she would wake up and do the Havan. On Sunday, unfortunately, whilst she was doing the Havan, a part of the flames had went onto her clothing, and because of her mental illness, she wasn't able to register what was going on until a few seconds later, when my grandfather had come outside and tried to put out the flames that had now went onto her body. In doing so, he sustained third-degree burns to his hands, and that is why he is still in hospital. But I want to share this with you, friends and family, is that my grandmother was conscious when she went to the hospital, and my mama actually got her to sing the Hanuman Chalisa whilst she was in the car going to the hospital. And earlier on today I said the manner in which she went is poetic and symbolic, because here is a woman who performed Havan every single morning, and it was Surya who eventually had taken her. On Tuesday morning, the burns and the injuries were of severe nature, and Big Mommy had passed in the morning of the Tuesday that had passed. So my grandfather, if you know him, says he wanted everyone here who is present to know these particular circumstances. He then asked me to apologize on his behalf and say that given the circumstances, it's understandable why he couldn't be here. We did manage to arrange for Big Mommy to go through to the dad. And I must share this with you. After he said goodbye to her, I felt as if I didn't have strength. And then he tells me, he says, son, go and be my voice when I can't speak there. And he didn't know that he was comforting me, but he did. And when I arrived back at 206 Bailey Road, people will tell you I came back with a smile on my face, because just remember who my grandfather is and who my grandmother was. It gave me the strength for me to use these words about his wife. He says, we were married in 1964. Next year, we would have been married for 60 years. She was the perfect life partner in all my endeavors, and any suggestions that she or I had, I felt as if I had my partner. She supported me and I supported her. And I feel that she fulfilled everything, and she executed whatever she wanted to do That is from her clothing factory, and he mentioned the name Royal Snacks. That was a business that she had, as well as convincing him in 1981 to go to India for the first time, and that, friends and family, broke me. In 1981, a school teacher and a businesswoman to go to India in apartheid. I said this was a powerful woman if she could convince this man to do this. And when you look at the photos, my grandfather is in a three-piece suit. No one had been on a plane before. He said, I didn't know what to expect. And my grandmother in a sari. But this was the type of woman that she was. She pushed my grandfather to be the best that he could be. And he acknowledges that he would not be the man without my dear Big Mama. He then asked me, very aptly so, to make sure that I thank everyone for attending. He mentioned words like, I must thank everyone for the condolences, the tributes, the flowers. He says, thank the nurses, thank the funeral services. He asked me to thank the car guards. This is my grandfather's message. So with those few thoughts from my grandmother, on my grandmother, from my grandfather, friends and family, as Aditi said, have him in your prayers. And he does say he's lost the perfect life partner, and we need to also be strong for him. Friends and family, I will now, in conclusion, hand you to Pandit Ji Roy Maharaj to conduct the concluding prayers.
माता पिता भाई बहनों नमस्कार। गम की बात है कि हमारा मुलाकात इस कारण के लिए हो रहा है, लेकिन ये नियम परमात्मा ने मुझे दिया है, जिसका मृत्यु होता है उसका जन्म भी अवश्य होता है, और जिसका जन्म होता है उसका मृत्यु अवश्य होता है। Ladies and gentlemen, a very big divine welcome to each and every one of you. It is unfortunate that we meet under such circumstances, but these are the rules of life. I'm not going to dwell, but you heard the eulogies and the sentiments expressed by the MC, and you know that by hearing what you heard, we have lost a lovely lady. I'm going to ask you gently and lovingly to cast your mind in an area that we call heaven and ask the Divine Lord Yamaraj to send Preshila Devi Poonmassy's soul to that place. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 2, slok number 23, Paramatma describes the soul and its nature like this.
Nenam chidanti shastrani Nenam dahati paga Nacheryam klediyante apo Nashushri maruta.
Unlike the physical body, which constitutes the five elements, earth, wind, water, fire and ether, the soul as Paramahansa Krishna Bhagavan says very clearly, very aptly, is indestructible. Marut, it's indestructible. Weapons cannot harm it, cannot cut it. Fire cannot burn it. Wind cannot dry it. And neither can be consumed by any force. It is indestructible. Hold that thought in your head as I read this pratna to Yamaraj.
Yatrano kamam charanam trinake trideve deve devaham lokayatra jyotishmantaham tatra mamritam krudi. Yatrano kamam charanam trinake yatra kamani magni kamascha yatrach badanasya vishtavam swada yatra chitriktischa tatra mamritam krudi. Yatra nandascha modascha madhuha prasu pramoda asade kamasya yatrapta kama tatra mamritam krudi.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we have all assembled here to pay our last respects to a beloved one. We know that this is the inevitable destiny of mankind. One day all of us will have to leave this world for the nether world. However, we must remember that according to the ways of our life, our soul does not perish. The soul is immortal. Our teaching has made it clear to us that we have to account for our actions, and we believe that if we do good, our souls will attain a better place in the next life. Therefore, it is important to be reminded that those of us who have such a rich heritage and a rich philosophy must aim for the path of righteousness. Do good, be good. There is no need for us to grieve over the dead, but because of our attachment, we deeply mourn the loss of our dear ones. We know it is difficult to move away from that attachment. Therefore, we must pray so that God in His mercy will grant the bereaved family courage and fortitude to bear this divine loss. Lastly, on behalf of the deceased family, we thank all the people who have rallied around them during their bereavement. I believe there is a rose that is going to be put in the basket on top of the cupboard. I'm going to recite the Shiva Astakam. Place your last drops on the flower. Let it mingle with the fragrance of the flower as it accompanies Preshila Devi Poonmassy's Nijam nirgunam nirvikalpam niriham chidakashivakashivasam bhajeham nirakare okare moolam turiyam gira jnane
तुषाराद्रिसङ्काशगौरं गभीरं मनोभूतकोटीश्वरीशरीरं स्वरन्मौलिकल्लोलिनीचारुगङ्गा लसत्तालिवालिन्दुकण्ठे भुजङ्गा चलत्कुण्डलं भ्रूसुनेत्रं विशालं प्रसन्नाननं नीलकण्ठं दयालं मृगाधीशचर्माम्बरं मन्दमालं प्रियं शङ्करं सर्वनादं भजामि. Thank you. May I ask all of you to rise, please. Paul bearers, please take up your stations. Bully. Purnamida Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Devu Shanti Antarikshagvam
Family members, those that's going into the antechambers, are the only family members who will be observing the 10 and 13 days over this period. So, Ram Krishna Sharanam, 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 Sharanam, Kripa